And someone's like, "Are you working?" It's like something that really blew me away because I'm from the former Soviet Union. Like, literally, my parents moved here when I was 7. We've been very poor in Russia, very difficult to say how poor, incredibly poor by Western standards, nonsensically. We were never rich here, and I only got rich, recently in my life. My parents are never rich. It's really tough because in movies in the past, I would say, there's rich people featured in movies, and they'll say things like, "Well, I'm not really working right now. I'm just taking it easy." And you're like, "What the hell?
Yeah.
How is that possible? Who feeds you?" And when you realize, like, if you were sufficiently well invested, you can just say completely insane things like that, and they're true. Like, "I just didn't feel like working this month." Don't you want to be able to say that? Isn't that a real good thing?
It's really funny. So I'm 51.
Uh-huh.
I started investing heavy at 30.
Ooh,
And
smart man.
as you and I know, I mean, we set this interview up when I was just starting a river cruise in Europe for a month. So
There
I
you
know
go.
exactly how that guy feels.
Right? You can just do that. And a lot of times, the negative attitude is like, "Well, yeah, that's rich people, man. My boss tells me to do all this coding and then he gets off the phone, he's on his yacht." Like, well, there are absolutely ways in which wealth can be accumulated, not so nicely and immorally, but those are really quite rare. Most of the time, your boss that's really rich doesn't have to work anymore. His 20s and his 30s and his 40s are just like seeing red the
Yeah,
entire time, bleeding yourself into the ground to get these things off and get this money poured into these accounts.
that's what people
That's
don't
the
understand,
trade-off.
Mike, is people look at what we're doing now, and we've taken 2 month-long vacations this year because we can.
Mm-hmm.
One in Asia, one in Europe. And that's all well and good. But nobody wanted our life for 15 years. We lived
Oh
so
God,
we
no.
we lived on half our income. We didn't do anything, right? I'm positive my friends made fun of me. Like not only my friends, my family probably made fun of me. But
Sure.
all I got to say is who's laughing now?
Right. You can laugh all the way to the bank and back because you own a significant fraction of the bank. Yeah, it's a big deal. And listen, like, obviously we have to say something here. We're not trying to value judge people. I mean, we can totally value judge, but like, look, there are two equally compelling stories. One is, look, get it how you live. Just do what you do, make that money, spend that money. You're not young forever. You could die in a car accident tomorrow. Aliens could destroy the earth. Who cares? Totally. Then there's
Totally.
the other perspective of, like, you got to scrimp and save and invest so that later things are better than they are now for you. There is no most compelling of those. Now, for me personally, by far the second is the most compelling, but at least you have to, as a person who's considering investing, sit with that and sit with both ends of the spectrum and go, where
Totally.
am I on this? Because there's even a further left point of the spectrum where you spend money you don't have yet,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
credit card receipts and all this other crazy stuff. That you can go down that road if you like. There are absolutely upsides to it. You'll have some great experiences for 6 months until the credit card agencies realize they're not going to pay for those anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's crazy.